So, we have a question here. I stumbled upon your website and then podcast yesterday. I happened to hear several episodes from the podcasts and felt better. Your teachings are immensely helpful, and I am glad to have come across them. On some days, I feel I have understood the reason for my pain, conflict, and turmoil, and then suddenly the next day, I feel I am back to where I started from. I try every day simply to be present and in the moment, and yet it feels like I'm pulled back and that learning fades. I want to simply be okay, normal, and experience this inner turmoil. I feel that I'm torn between just being, doing what I was supposed to be doing, and moving ahead. But I don't understand why I feel lost. I tell myself that this will pass and I will come out of it, but it seems to take so long. Everything that I used to like doing, even the simple things, none of them appeal to me. And I sit patiently for it to all come to me. But some days this feels like a long wait. I love walks, sunset, and just these simple things, if not big elaborate things, and yet I find myself feeling no joy with these. I wonder why is that. I feel scared and I wonder if I will feel normal again. Will I find things that bring me peace and joy? Why can't I experience joy? Not every minute or every time, but simply feel it. How can I feel steady even if it's not the highs and nothing big? How do I be in the present and just be happy? Not seek anything or plan anything. I can be that. I can be still. And yet, on some occasions, I feel should not I do these things or plan those things that bring me joy? Whenever I am going through in that process, should I not do the things that bring me joy? Meaning, for example, plan a trip. I want to perhaps learn new things like a language, dance, find love. Why do I feel that chasing these will not find me any peace? But the turmoil is that if I don't explore, experience, these go out, how will I ever move ahead in life? Okay. So, what is happening here is that you're experiencing the classic flip flop, which is states of joy mixed with states of confusion and pain. And usually, what happens is that the periods of pain and unhappiness are longer as compared to the periods of joy. So, mind is in a state of confusion. Where am I going with this? Where am I heading? What is my future? And that mind is the anxious mind, which is unable to find peace. Now you say, how can I feel steady even if it's not the highs and nothing big? How do I be in the present and just be happy? When you are in the present, there is actually no you. Happiness is your default state, it is your most natural state. That's what Ramana Maharishi said. That state, which you experience in deep sleep, is also present in the waking state. But it is overshadowed by all these needs and wants and desires, and I want to attain this and that. So, what essentially is happening is that the conditioning is dominant right now. The conditioning that you have been subjected to as a child, as a grown up, because we live in this society which conditions us to believe that we must move ahead in life, we must achieve this, we must do that. Whereas what my experience says is that all the progress and moving ahead and becoming better and self improvement and things of those nature, they are byproducts. Improvement is a natural phenomena. It will happen. Whatever you do, you simply start writing, you become better at it. You start practicing a skill, you become better at it. It is a natural phenomena. Whereas the person that is concerned with an outcome creates misery for himself. So, living with this sense of separation, that I am a separate entity and I want to experience joy by acquiring things, by planning travels, by finding love, that entity will never attain peace. Now, I'm not saying that don't travel, that don't find love. No, that is all fine. It's a part of life. But the peace that you're looking for comes with the acceptance of what is. And what is simply the life flowing in its unaltered state, in its most natural state. So sometimes it brings pain and sometimes it brings pleasure. The unconditional acceptance of the flow of life, the unpredictable flow of life, is true meditation, is true peace. Till there is a resistance that I want to experience this, I don't want to experience that, I want to have this, I don't want to have that. Till then, the pain, the restlessness, the happiness will elude you. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, what not to do, because you are not the doer. The doing is simply a happening. It is only the I thought which arises. Now, if you notice in your email, you have you have said, I can be still, I can be that. No, I is not that. I is not stillness, because I is a vertical thought. It is a movement. It is a very subtle movement, but it is a movement. An I that flows horizontally as I am this, I am that, I want this, I want that. The I that moves horizontally as me, it creates expectations, it creates stories, and it goes on and on continuously in that cycle. It wants to experience happiness, and the very search for happiness creates pain. The very search for peace creates restlessness. The very search for harmony creates disharmony. To be means to be simply to be the being, to be the awareness of being. It does not mean to be a certain way. So, this is a very natural thing which happens. Once you have tasted peace, once you have had a glimpse of your true nature, it does happen that one seeks to attain that peace over and over again. But that peace cannot be our continuous state. The oneness, the unity, it cannot be our constant state, because every state is impermanent. The more you try to make a state permanent, the more you try to find enlightenment, the more you run away from your true nature. So, right now, you are appearing as this person with a specific gender, with a specific religion, with a specific conditioning that wants to experience happiness, that wants to find meaning in life, that wants to experience all the joy, that wants to experience love. There's nothing wrong with it. But there's nothing right with it either. It is just what we are. When I say we, I mean that is what the small self is. The small self by nature is one that thinks that it is limited, and so it tries to acquire material objects. Let me have this, let me have that, and then I will be happy. So, um, what is happening in your case is that that condition is simply playing out. Those feelings are getting stimulated, which are buried deep within your consciousness. For those of us who have not experienced love, we long for that love, for the romantic love, or any other form of love. We do crave it. But that craving is not the reality, because love by itself is a very natural thing. Love does not discriminate, the mind discriminates. So, mind is feelings. Mind wants to feel this, feel that. Mind clings on to feelings. And that is why mind creates suffering. Whereas love is the substratum from which all of this is happening. So I don't see a problem in any of this. Learning a new language, dancing, doing an art. And you can find peace in all of these things. But if at this point your mind is turbulent, then let that happen. Watch the turbulence, watch the confusion. Allow that energy to resolve. And sometimes we have to slow down. I tell this to a lot of my friends as well, that sometimes it's better to slow down, just rest and relax and see what is happening. That is how you get to know the conditioning. That is how you get to know what your mind actually is doing. Otherwise, we are trapped in that same loop, constant loop, going out, partying, enjoying yourself, drinks, dinner, this, that, vacations. And then the moment we come back to our place and we are all by ourselves, we feel horrible, we feel bad. We don't like ourselves. But when we have understood our true nature, which is peace, then we don't actually bother about these things. If an opportunity arises and there is a moment to enjoy, we enjoy. But if there is no opportunity, no event, no person, even then we enjoy. We enjoy our happiness, we enjoy our sadness. We enjoy every feeling. Because every feeling, every sensation, every perception is made up of love. So once that is understood, then it becomes clear that there is no individual searching for anything. The search, the seeking for fulfillment in objective experience is suffering. And there is a way out of that suffering. And the way out of that suffering is not to seek. But if the seeking has to happen in your case, then it will happen. So let what is happening happen and watch yourself. When you watch, what happens is that you see the impermanence of these feelings, these sensations. And slowly you come to a very natural and a restful place where everything is being watched without there being an individual watcher. That is the shift. That is the pure vision. That is the total vision. But till we are seeing things with a limited lens, with a distorted lens, where we put these conditions that I will not be happy unless and until I achieve this, unless and until I make more money, unless and until I have the best romantic partner, unless and until I don't have family or this or that. Till then, our vision is always skewed, always distorted. Till then, we are creating this separation between myself and the wholeness that is love, that is peace. So, with that separation, I continuously experience pain. But when I let go of these conditionings, when I surrender totally to the universe, and I say to the universe that bring whatever is required, that is when true meditation happens. That is when true surrender happens. That is when true insight, true wisdom comes. Because the entity imposing conditions, the entity that is saying that I cannot be happy unless and until I have this or I don't have that, that entity itself is separation, that itself is suffering. So, this me that says, I want this, I want that, I cannot be happy without this, without that. What is the nature of this me? Investigate that. I was just speaking to a friend a couple of days back, and she she likes to plan out these events and evening, and she was telling me that she enjoys a lot when she's with people, and she's when she's organizing all this stuff, she gets to meet new people, new experiences and everything. But the moment she comes back to her apartment and she's all by herself, things don't seem that nice. Now, the way we have trained ourselves in the modern world is that we have got so hooked to temporary pleasures, a drink here, maybe a comfort food there, sex, or anything impulsive, which can just soothe our anxiety for a moment. We just grab that. Because deep down there is a lack, there is an emptiness that we don't want to face because it seems ugly. But if we gather courage and somehow look at ourselves, look totally at what is going on, then we see that that emptiness, that feeling of void that troubles me, is actually not there. And that all there is peace. The recognition of that peace is enough. It brings tremendous insight. And then we are not bothered with the cycle of pain and pleasure. And that is why Buddha advocated the middle path. Because he tried asceticism, it didn't work. He had seen the other lavish life, extravagant life, even that didn't work. So he found the middle path. So, middle path comes with the understanding, with the total vision. And life itself will show you that. So, allow life to happen the way it is happening. So, if you're feeling this way in this moment where you are unhappy at times and happy other times, that it's a part of that learning. All you can do is accept it for what it is, rather than trying to fight it, rather than trying to avoid it. Because what you try to avoid will show up over and over again. What you try to cling on to will move away from you. So, attraction and aversion, they are like two sides of the same coin. There's not much difference between the two. So I guess that is the that is all I have for you right now, but I hope that helps.